What do y'all? Bread Tuck Rob, Bread Tuck Gang Forever, man. Horrible Monday night game. Houston Texans versus the Denver Broncos. I think we lost like 27-9. Man, it was terrible. I tell you what, that first quarter was pretty good, man. I feel like we controlled the first quarter. OJ Boye was not having it, man. Excuse me, AJ Boye was not having it out there, man. But I noticed something. I noticed that Brock Osweiler could not. Him and D Hop just could not connect. But at that moment, I mean, it seemed like you could get by without them connecting because we were kicking field goals and we were up 6-0. But I mean, you can't depend on field goals the whole game. And my defense was holding. So I'm like, okay, maybe we could figure something out later. I feel like Lamar Miller was doing his thing out there. We swap him out with Blue. Blue was doing his thing out there. And my defense was playing as a whole. Second quarter, that thing fell apart, man. The offense started, the Denver Broncos offense started making things happen. We couldn't stop the run. Demarius Thomas he ate out there. Emmanuel Sanders ate out there, and I'm like, man, what is happening? But still, the game was still within reach. I think we went into halftime with the score being 9-14, and we came back in the third. Okay, so we come back in the third quarter, and it's looking promising. Osweiler is kind of moving the ball downfield, if that's what you want to call it. He runs for a first down, so we have momentum working. Then your boy Alfred Blue fumbles it. I'm talking about we march down the field. We're on their 20-yard line, and Alfred Blue fumbles it. And I feel like that shifted the momentum of the whole game because I feel like we would have scored and we would have been up, 16-14. And the game could have went a different way. But after that, I think they scored again. It was bad, man. And then you have the final score of 27-9. Kareem Jackson was looking like rookie season, year one Kareem Jackson out there. And he's hurt, so you really can't put anything on that. Newton had a bad injury where he injured both legs. And my cornerbacks were just getting banged up out there, man. Brock Osweiler, man, $72 million. We did not see the end zone. And it's like, man, something has to give. You have to since we paid him that much, and you're not going to bench him after paying all that money. And I'll tell you what, things changed because last week it was Brock Osweiler, and this week it's like, So we have to put him in the best position to win. Him and Hopkins need to figure it out, man. But I tell you what, I remember reading over the over the offseason that him and Jalen Strong had this major connection. I guess because they both went to Arizona State or whatever. Listen, if we need to have Jalen Strong out there on the field more, that needs to happen. James Harden went to Arizona State. He plays for the Rockets. If we need to go put him on the field to get some continuity here, that needs to happen. We need to figure this thing out, man, because this is horrible to have this much of a high-powered offense and you're not doing anything on offense, man. We ain't scored over 30 yet, and that's not good, man, with these players. And with Osweiler's performance, TJ Yates could have given me this. Hoyer was giving me more than 9 points a game, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We just need to figure it out. We're still number one in the AFC South, but we need to figure this thing out, man. Whatever needs to happen to put this guy in position to win, it just needs to happen, man. The GM, coaching staff, You need to figure it out because you can't put your defense out there. Your defense is doing all they can, and then they're getting tired at the end of the game. And this is a defense without J.J. Watt. They're figuring it out, but at the end of the game, when guys aren't putting points on the board, man, it's hard to come back. Then he fumbles, and you know what the highlight of the game is? He didn't throw an interception, but he fumbles throwing forward with nobody forcing him to fumble. And it was a few questionable calls, I will say. When old buddy ran into Shane Leckler, I thought that was a penalty. I thought if you run into the kicker or run into the point, the punter, it's a penalty. I guess they changed the rules recently. I don't know. I missed that, man. But like I said, man, we have to put this guy in position to win. If you're not gonna, move on to Savage or whatever. But like I say, we're still number one in the AFC South, so I expect him to still be the quarterback. You paid him, so he's still gonna be the quarterback. But man, I need Hopkins in the game, and also at kickoff return, I would like to see more of Will Fuller or Braxton Miller. I don't care if they're starting receivers and they get more reps and all that. Until we figure something out on offense to put more points on the board, at kickoff return, I want to see Will Fuller and my boy Braxton Miller. But y'all know what it is, man. Bread Tug Gang forever. Houston Texans, horrible Monday night game, but we will recover. Next week we have the Detroit Lions. We're going to bust them up and we're going to keep it moving. We'll be 5-3. But y'all know what it is, man. Bread Tug Rob, Bread Tug Gang forever. Houston Texans, y'all mucho, take it easy. H-Town all day.